of this service. Also, please silence your cell phones and turn off your Wi-Fi connections. Thank you. Welcome to the worship service of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Lakeland. My name is Heather Norby, and I am the Spiritual Life Director for this joyful congregation. I use the pronouns she and her. We are glad you are here, whether in person or virtually. UUCL is a thriving community, and whatever your gender identity, sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, abilities, or theological beliefs, you are welcome here. We would love to get to know you better, so please join us after the service on the patio, or if you are on Zoom, please say hello through the chat feature. We publish a newsletter every Wednesday, and it is the main source of information for what goes on around here, so be sure to sign up. And if you already receive it, be sure to read it to find out about all the great things that happen around here, including next week's annual service auction. Yes, it is next week already after service. We will have our annual service auction. There will also be plenty of goods to bid on, so come bid on some fabulous goods and services for Christmas, to treat yourself, and really to just have fun and be in community with one another.
And bring a dish to serve.
And bring a dish to serve. We'll have a potluck. Thank you. I'd also like to give a big thank you to our bulletin board and hallway team. They've done a fabulous job freshening things up and making it look fabulous out there. Thank you, Petra Sussman and Glenda Littlehale and Tim McLean. Awesome.
Today Means Amen by Sierra DeMolder. Dear you, whoever you are, however you got here, this is exactly where you are supposed to be. This moment has waited its whole life for you. This moment is your lover and you are a soldier. Come home, baby, it's over. You don't need to suffer anymore. Dear you, this moment is a surprise party. You are both hiding in the dark and walking through the door. This moment is a hallelujah. This moment is your permission slip to finally open that love letter you've been hiding from yourself, the one you wrote when you were little, when you still danced like a sparkler at dusk. Do you remember the moment you realized they were watching? When you became ashamed of how much light you were holding? When you first learned to unlove yourself? Dear you, the word today means amen in every language. Today, we made it. Today, I'm gonna love you. Today, the box cutter will rust in the garbage. Today, the noose will forget how to hold you. Today. Dear you, and I have always meant you. Nothing would be the same if you did not exist. You who were once as small as bouquet, who could sleep in the laps of strangers, nothing would be the same if you did not exist. You whose voice is someone's favorite voice, someone's favorite face to wake up to, nothing would be the same if you did not exist. You, the teacher, the starter's gun, the lantern in the night that offers not a way home but the courage to travel farther into the dark. You, the lover who worships the taste of her body, who is the largest tree ring in his heart, who does not let fear ration your love. You, the friend, the sacred chorus of how can I help you, who have felt more numb than holy, more cracked than mosaic, who has known the tiles of a bathroom by heart, who has forgotten what makes you worth it. You, the forgiven, the forgiver, who belongs right here in this moment. You, this clump of cells, this happy explosion that happened to start breathing, and by the grace of whatever is up here, you got here. You made it this whole way through the nights that swallowed you whole and the mornings that arrived in pieces, the scabs, the gravel, the doubt, the hurt, the hurt. The hurt is over. Today, you made it. You made it. You made it here.
Just as our congregations across the country and even around the world are lighting their chalices this morning, so will we light ours and create sacred space. Today, our chalice lighter is Judy Powell. A spark, and we anticipate the warmth of fire, a warm fire, and a circle of friends. We set our intentions to connect with one another in love, to bring peace and gratitude to our lives. With the lighting of this chalice and the warmth of this flame, may our hearts open to this joy. Please join me in signing Spirit of Life, hymn number 123.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
This is the hour that we gather to contemplate the mysteries of life and to feel the gratitude of being able to approach this holy task together. We gather around the flame of our chalice, a symbol that holds so much in its warm and brilliant flame: hope, love, peace, and joy. Our spiritual explorations for December will lead us on a journey of opening up to joy. What is joy? Is it something that happens to us, something we find, or something that we become? Today, our UUCL member, Jenni will teach and inspire us to open up to joy through the heart chakra. This is the 4th Sunday of Jenni's chakra series. Through her personal story of deconstructing the religion of her childhood and the unfortunate experience of sexual assault, Jenni will lead us to an understanding of how to come to terms with one's experiences and find a love of oneself that is essential if we are to find, become, and share joy. Love is the foundation of what we seek. This is the 2nd Sunday of the Advent season, a season of waiting for the light to return, a season in which we hope for a world filled with more love. Let us light our Advent candle for love. In this holiday season, throughout the year to come, and always in our lives, may we know we are loved. May we share the love we have, and may we be the love we wish to see. Let us turn now to honor the weaving of joys and sorrows that run throughout our lives, throughout all lives, throughout the web of life and love. We invite you up to the chalice table to light candles. If you are on Zoom, we will say your name and light a candle for you so that we know that you are here with us and so that you know that we are together. If you do not want your name said, please say so in the chat. Please light a candle for our Zoom participants, Maggie McClelland. And Nancy Morse. Thank you.
I discovered spoken word poetry several years ago, pretty much exactly at the time that I needed it. And today, as we journey through this sermon on the heart chakra together, I'm going to be sharing some of the poems that have meant the most to me over the years. Every time I listen to them, they teach me something different. And that's the great thing about written word, whether it be poetry or music or books or movies. It's always going to affect you differently based on what stage of life you're in at that time.
I knew exactly what love looked like in 7th grade.
Even though I hadn't met love yet, if love had wandered into my homeroom, I would have recognized him at first glance. Love wore a hemp necklace.
I would have recognized her at first glance. Love wore a tight French braid.
Love played acoustic guitar and knew all my favorite Beatles songs.
Love wasn't afraid to ride the bus with me. And I knew
I just must be checking the wrong classrooms.
Just must be searching the wrong hallways. She was there. I was sure of it.
If only I could find him.
But when love finally showed up, she had a bowl cut.
He wore the same clothes every day for a week.
Love hated the bus.
Love didn't know anything about the Beatles.
Instead, every time I tried to kiss love, our teeth got in the way.
Love became the reason I lied to my parents.
I'm going to Ben's house.
Love had terrible rhythm on the dance floor, but made sure we never missed a slow song.
Love waited by the phone because she knew if her father picked up, it would be,
hello. Hello.
oh my God.
I guess they hung up.
And love grew.
Love stretched like a trampoline.
Love changed.
Love disappeared, slowly, like baby teeth, losing parts of me I thought I needed.
Love vanished like an amateur magician. Everyone could see the trap door but me.
Like a flat tire. There were other places I had planned on going,
but my plans didn't matter.
Love stayed away for years, and when love finally reappeared,
I barely recognized her.
him.
Love smelled different now, had darker eyes.
A broader back. Love came with freckles I didn't recognize.
New birthmarks, a softer voice.
Now there were new sleeping patterns.
New favorite books.
Love had songs that reminded him of someone else.
Songs love didn't like to listen to. So did I. But we found a park bench that fit us perfectly.
We found jokes that make us laugh.
And now love makes me fresh homemade chocolate chip cookies.
But love will probably finish most of them for a midnight snack.
Love looks great in lingerie, but still likes to wear her retainer.
Love is a terrible driver, but a great navigator.
Love knows where she's going. It just might take her 2 hours longer than she planned.
Love is messier now.
Not as simple.
Love uses the word boobs in front of my parents.
Love chews too loudly.
Love leaves the cap off the toothpaste.
Love uses smiley faces in her text messages.
And turns out,
Love
shits. But love also cries. And love will tell you you are beautiful.
And mean it.
Over and over again.
You are beautiful.
When you just wake up.
You are beautiful.
When you've just been crying.
You are beautiful.
When you don't want to hear it.
You are beautiful.
When you don't believe it.
You are beautiful.
When nobody else will tell you.
You are beautiful.
Love still thinks you are beautiful.
But love is not perfect and will sometimes forget.
When you need to hear it most.
You are beautiful.
Do not forget this.
Love is not who you were expecting. Love is not what you can predict.
Maybe love is in New York City, already asleep. You are in California, India, Australia, wide awake. Maybe love is always in the wrong time zone.
Maybe love is not ready for you. Maybe you are not ready for love.
Maybe love just isn't the marrying type.
Maybe the next time you see love is 20 years after the divorce. Love looks older now, but just as beautiful as you remember.
Maybe love is only there for 1 month.
Maybe love is there for every firework, every birthday party, every hospital visit.
Maybe love stays.
Maybe love can't. Maybe love shouldn't. Love arrives exactly when love is supposed to. And love leaves exactly when love must.
When love arrives, say,
Welcome. Make yourself comfortable. If love leaves, ask her to leave the door open behind her.
Turn off the music. Listen to the quiet.
Whisper, thank you for stopping by.
So how do you walk through life? Do you walk with your hands out, taking what comes and using it to mold your experiences as best you can? Or do you walk through your life with arms up, guarding, blocking off anything that might turn into something difficult? I think a lot about the way that I walk through life and why I walk through life that way. I make it a goal to walk through my life, arms open wide, ready to take in the world. And because I do, I am so much more vulnerable to hurt and so much more vulnerable to heartache. But on the flip side of that, I am so much more open to the love and joy that you can find in the world. I am ready to receive the love and joy that this world has to offer. Where do you find yourself on that spectrum? When I was a child, I was raised in a Southern Baptist home, and I've spent the past year really deconstructing my faith, choosing the parts that speak to me and disposing of the trauma-based tactics that cause me to hide many of my parts for a long time. Through it all, I've always had a pretty good relationship with Jesus, and I strongly believe that the Jesus that I know and speak to is probably not the same one that has been created in the modern church. One of my favorite interpretations that I found of him through my deconstruction is the fact that with all of his miracles and mystery, it's very possible that he would have been considered a witch in his time. One of my favorite memories as a child would be when I learned about Jesus coming to live in your heart. And I was always a very visual child. I'm still a very visual adult. And I had a very realistic image of him living in my heart. He had an entire hearth in the center of my chest. And that's how I've come to also view the heart chakra. It is a hearth that fuels our entire system. Energy spreads out from the center and connects the upper and lower chakras in order to create a true balance in your body and in your life. Now, fast forward to college, which is probably one of the most oppressive times in my spiritual journey. My relationship with Christianity no longer focused on Jesus living in my heart and my relationship with him. It changed. And suddenly it was about being a good person and making the right decisions and guarding your heart and saving yourself. You put walls up and you don't let people into the most intimate parts of yourself, because then you are no longer pure. I was told that I needed to save my heart and my body for that one special person. And that really started to alter my perception of things. I would struggle so much with wanting to be a good person and wanting to save myself, because that's what you were supposed to do. But I also had this people pleaser mentality where I wanted people to like me and I wanted to be helpful and I wanted to be there for them. That would validate your status as a good person. That would show that you loved someone, right? But I was still this bubbly person that wanted to connect with people and wanted to be loved and accepted so badly. And when the right people didn't love and accept me, someone else did instead. When I was 21, I was sexually assaulted by someone who didn't understand the word no. And from that point forward, that was how I searched for validation. I was no longer guarding my heart. I did a complete 180 and I was thrusting my heart out to anyone who would take it. I hid in denial for months because obviously I wanted it, or I wouldn't have dressed a certain way or said a certain thing. Let me be absolutely clear in this moment to anyone who might be going through that same internal argument. It doesn't matter what you wear. It doesn't matter how much you drank or what other drug might have been in your system. It does not matter if you started out wanting things and decided that you didn't later. When you say no, and the person keeps going, it is rape and it is not your fault. When I finally admitted to myself what had happened, I turned to my friends that I had made in the various campus ministry groups for guidance and help, because that's what they're there for. And their immediate response was not comfort. It was, oh, have you asked God for forgiveness for what happened? And I felt judged and attacked. I was already broken and I was searching. I wanted to feel love. I wanted acceptance and to feel cared for and protected. I think that's all any of us really want. And instead, I felt like I was the one that had done something wrong. I started to look for love and acceptance elsewhere. I jumped from relationship to relationship, searching for a safe place. And that's what I've been doing for the past 10 years.
We are taught from the moment we leave our pink nurseries that we are collapsible paper dolls, light to hold, easier to crumple, that as women, our worth lives secretly wrapped in lace and cotton panties, our fragility armored with pepper spray and mace. They say 1 in 10, 1 in 6, 1 in 3 women will be raped or sexually abused in their lifetime, and I am one of 3 daughters. Now imagine, each victim is an acrobat. Her sanity, a balancing act. Our response is the unfailing safety net. We never expect to see her across the wire. You weren't just violated, we tell her. You are an empty museum, a gutted monument to what used to hold so much worth. And with the best intentions, we tell her to reclaim it. Put a price tag on your rape and own it, but don't stand too tall, don't act too strong. We will name you denial. Come back when you're ready to crumble like your bones are made of chalk. You may only laugh cutely or cry beautifully, so cry beautifully, we will catch you. We are calling it theft. As if he could pluck open your ribs like cello strings, pocket your breasts, steal what makes your heart flutter and tack its wings to his wall. Some days you will feel dirty. Some weeks you remember just how hard it is to breathe in public, like your heartbeat is climbing to the attic of your throat only to suicide itself on the pavement. But know this, the person who did this to you is broken, not you. The person who did this to you is out there somewhere choking on the glass of their chest. It is a windshield and his heartbeat is a baseball bat. Regret this, nothing was stolen from you. Your body is not a hand-me-down, and there's nothing that sits inside you holding your worth. No locket that can be seen or touched, fucked from your stomach to be left on the concrete. And I know it's hard to feel perfect when you can't tell an Adam's apple from a fist because some ashtray of a man picked you to play his Eden, but I will not watch you collapse.
It took me a really long time to leave the church, and I tried so many different avenues and different churches. I looked at different denominations, different sizes of churches, and some would work for a few months or a couple years. But I always ended up being met with disagreement and confusion as to why we weren't accepting everyone. The rules contradicted the Jesus that I know that had built a hearth in my heart so many years ago was not the same one that I heard talked about in these churches every Sunday. It was a performance and an experience. There was no real relationship there. And then I started a journey that would lead me to where I am now, an eccentric witch with a focus in Irish and Norse paganism, and an interest in energy work and tarot cards. I'm still deconstructing a lot from my time studying shamanism because I have moved away from closed practices. But there was a story that one of my yoga instructors told about the first time that he met Don Sebastian, the Peruvian shaman that he learned from. He went to his home in Peru and he was walking around and he asked why he had so many different gods and goddesses represented in his home. He had statues from almost every religion. And Don Sebastian replied that it was silly that someone would pray to just one. If you need help, shouldn't you be extending it to anyone who can offer help? And so I have become someone who still has a relationship with Jesus, and I also speak to Freya and the Morgan, and I leave offers for them and a few other deities that stop by to visit every now and again. I believe that manifestation and intention is the same thing as saying a prayer. And as long as no harm comes to others, how you choose to find your spiritual peace is beautiful. I recently discovered a song by Half Alive called Creature, and the chorus is a great explanation for anyone who grew up with a church-going experience and are currently working to deconstruct their faith and learn to love all parts of themselves. The chorus says, I know I'm made of clay that's worn, blighted by imperfect form, but I will trust the artist molding me. I am creation both haunted and holy, made in glory. Even the depths of the night cannot bind me when you guide me. And I think that this chorus is a great explanation for whatever holiness is up there and the creation that we are. We are made of parts that are good and evil, light and dark. You cannot have one without the other, and that's okay. That's why we work on ourselves. We go to therapy, we do shadow work, we journal, we go for nature walks. You have to get to know all parts of yourself to truly love and accept yourself. You must know sorrow so that you know what joy looks like. For the past 2 years, I have had a lot of difficulty with the holidays. After the passing of my mother, the only thing that I wanted for Christmas was to have my mom back, and that's not really something that you can ask people. The magic was gone, the love was lost, and I didn't know what to do. The first Christmas after she passed, I literally ran away to another state. I spent Christmas Day driving to Kentucky, and I spent the week from Christmas to New Year's distracting myself as much as possible, knowing that the year to come was going to be the first full year that I experienced without my mom, without my person that I called on the way home from work and told everything to. The first draft of this sermon had a poem for this section because I'm a little OCD and I wanted everything to match. But then I accepted that appropriately reflecting my emotions is more important than everything matching. At my core, I am not someone who matches all the time. So this is a song by Taylor Swift that came out August 23rd, 2019. If any of you know me, you are not surprised that I got Taylor Swift in the sermon. But August 23rd was 15 days before my mom passed away. My mom's birthday is on August 28th, and I can remember rushing to get to the inpatient care center that she was at because in my heart I knew that it would be the last birthday I would spend with her. And this song described everything that I felt in those last few weeks in the hospital. What am I supposed to do if there's no you?
That was the first time we were there. Holy orange bottles
somewhat broken relationship with my family. I have a hard time connecting with most of them because either I just forget to reach out to them because object permanence with ADHD is like a real thing, or our views are so different that I am unable to have a constructive conversation with them. When I am in the deep dark of it, I worry that the people in my family will never truly be proud of me because of the path I have chosen. And because of this, I have a lot of chosen family, as most people in the LGBT plus community do. I have my very best friend that I've known since I was 4, and his wife and kids, and those kids are such a large source of joy for me. I tell Elliot, who I refer to as my nephew, on an almost daily basis that he is my absolute favorite human, and I will let anyone else I meet know that he is my favorite person in the world, and I would do absolutely anything to make him happy. When I have been in the deep dark of my most depressed, going over to their house to spend time with him is what brought me joy and kept me going. I actually spent some time over there this weekend while I was working on the sermon, and Elliot's not a big hugger. Usually he'll back into a hug, or he'll literally just flop on top of me when I ask him for a hug. And I was leaving yesterday and I said, Elliot, can I have a hug? And he runs up to me and he goes, yeah. And I'm just like, you cannot do that to me today. But yeah, he's the best. I added extra stuff. You can play the thing now.
Some of you may have noticed that Phil and I have the same last name, and we look kind of vaguely similar to each other. So whenever we travel around together, usually the first question we get asked is whether we're brother and sister. And the answer is no.
No.
And then they want to know if we're married, and the answer is also no.
No.
And then they want to know if we're dating, if we have dated, if we will date, if we're secretly dating, if one of us wants to date the other, but we're scared we'll ruin the friendship, all of which is a resounding no.
Ha! No.
The true story is that I grew up in New York City, and Phil grew up in California on the opposite side of the country, and neither one of us knew that the other person existed until we got to college, and we ended up going to the same university. And in the very first week of our freshman year at college, there was an orientation talent show. And in this talent show, Phil performed spoken word poetry, and I performed spoken word poetry, and that's where we met. And we realized that we had the same last name, and we said, oh, what a weird coincidence. And pretty soon, all of these other weird coincidences started to unravel around us. And at this point in our friendship, we basically got used to all of them. But whenever we go somewhere new, we like to share the story because we think it's at least a little bit of an explanation for what's going on here.
This is all true.
It started with a sweater.
I was looking fly. First day of college orientation as a freshman, and I'm the type of guy who's always trying to make a good impression.
He looked like a tool. And it's the first week of school, so I've got people to meet and things to try. I don't have time to waste on this guy loitering backstage at a talent show.
It started with a freshman talent show, a chance to showcase what I know about spoken word and poetry, try to get some people to notice me.
It started with a technical difficulty.
Some sort of delay.
Somebody's iPod track wouldn't play.
So I'm stuck waiting backstage when I notice this girl.
And he walks over, stupid sweater and all. There was nowhere to run. Backstage was too small.
I'm so nervous about going on stage that I decided to strike up a conversation.
Oh, sorry, I completely got ahead of myself. I totally skipped introductions. My name is Sarah Kay.
My name is Phil Kay. I'm from California.
Born and raised in NYC.
Let's see, fun fact about me.
My mom is Japanese and my dad is Jewish. Not a common combination, but I think it's kind of cute. People call me Japaju.
Japanese.
Ashkenazi kamikaze.
And come December,
Hanukkah and Christmas. Plus, you should taste my mother's brisket. Jan Kawamura's matzo ball soup with noodles brings my father Jeffrey
to his knees.
It took Mom Reiko and Dad Michael to raise this lanky, cockeyed half-breed.
Well, I think that's it. My mom, my dad, and me. Oh, plus my little brother, he's 19.
My little sister is a deadpan firecracker. She's only 19, but she keeps me on track. Part of her name is Sarah.
My brother's name is Philip. Anyway, where was I?
It started with a backstage interaction.
No, it started with a backwards first impression.
Okay, well, I'll tell you where it didn't start. It didn't start at 5th grade summer camp.
That's true. It did not start at junior lifeguards, even though
We were both there, which are matching uniforms, red bathing suits, white t-shirts, visors, and our counselor,
Mr. Johnson, who probably figured that the shy girl in his morning class
and the skinny kid in his afternoon class were cousins.
Probably thought we carpooled over together.
In between family photo shoots and 4th of July barbecues.
But instead, we merely coexisted.
Almost met, but always missed it.
Spinning round like two sides of a coin. Look, we've done the research, and we swear we're not related.
And we've never dated.
And we're never,
ever going to. Because what are the chances of finding someone with your last name?
Japanese and Jewish with siblings called the same.
What are the odds of finding someone
Who can finish your sentences?
who will let you cut in
Who
line?
knows not to just lend a hand or an ear when you need them to give you their spine?
Who is woman enough to be best man at your wedding?
Who will keep every secret, save every letter, tell you how you really look
Who will remember every single one of your birthdays?
without checking Facebook?
What are the odds of finding someone who knows your poetry by heart?
Who won't freak out if you're hanging out and accidentally fart?
Yeah, and if you have a date and you need to look fresh, I will let you borrow my hair products.
And if you don't have a date and you need to look fresh, I will let you borrow my cousin.
I will always see you for the alley-oop.
I will always save you a seat.
I will always pick you to be my partner, even though you are terrible at handball.
When the fire takes all you have, my home will be your home.
When you are old and can no longer remember my face, I will meet you for the first time again and again.
When they make fun of your accent, I will take you swimming, because we all sound the same underwater.
When Ellis Island tries to erase your past, I will call you by your real name.
When they call your number for the draft, I will enlist to fight beside you.
And I will march with you from Selma to Montgomery and back as many times as it takes.
We will stand together against the hoses and the dogs, because it didn't start with
It
us.
started with Lennon and McCartney.
It started with Thelma and Louise.
Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin.
Bert and Ernie.
Abbott and Costello.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Mario and Luigi.
Watson and Sherlock.
Pikachu and Charizard. And they could tell you what a miracle this is.
They could tell you how rare this is.
But they could tell you how rare friendship always is.
The chances are slim.
The cards are always stacked against you. The odds are always low.
But I have seen the best of you and the worst of you,
And I choose both. I want to share every single one of your sunshines and save some for later.
I will tuck them into my pockets so I can give them back to you when the rains fall hard.
Friend, I want to be the mirror that reminds you to love yourself.
I want to be the air in your lungs that reminds you to breathe easy.
When the walls come down.
When the thunder rumbles.
When nobody else is home, hold my hand, and I promise I won't let go.
I have gained so many friends in the past few years because of finding my way to this church. I found a book club that ended up giving me another group of friends that might as well be my family. And I've been given a group of people that I'm allowed to explore my beliefs with. And that's something that I never thought I'd find in Polk County. I don't know if I would be as involved with my spirituality as I am if I didn't have this church. It gives me the community that I crave, and I know that you will all be here for me when I need it. You have helped me without expecting anything in return, and for that I will forever be thankful for all of you. Finding this place has brought me so much joy and has allowed me to open myself up to so much more than I ever thought would be possible. I'm working on myself every day, and some days are more of a struggle than others. This year was the first time that I experienced the anniversary of my sexual assault while not being in a relationship. I didn't have that safe space that I was longing for. And it was really hard, but I'm also a firm believer that life experiences mold me. I'm becoming more of the person that I want to be every day. I've done a lot of work on myself in the past 6 months especially. I've gone to therapy, got on medication, and started truly deconstructing the trauma that I've experienced in my life. And like I mentioned last month, deconstructing generational trauma is exhausting. But I'm listening to myself more. I'm paying attention to what I want and why I want it. Is it truly opening myself up for joy? I spent a good portion of my life molding myself into the person that others wanted to see. I spent a long time stifling my own joy and my own self-love to please those around me. I have learned over the past few months something that I have always known about myself. I feel really big emotions. I'm the one sobbing in the movie theater because there was a particularly moving scene. When I saw Hamilton live, I cried for the majority of the show, like beginning to end. And for some people, that's always going to be too much, and that's okay. Because I am lucky enough to have found amazing friends who can get on my wavelength and experience the world in this bright and beautiful, big way, just the same as me. Love is not meant to be dull. Joy is not meant to be stifled. It is meant to be life-changing and formative. When we started this series, we started with the root chakra, which is directly connected to our safety. And I truly believe that two of the most strongly connected chakras are the heart chakra and the root chakra. Love makes us feel safe and protected. The root chakra focuses on our physical needs like food, shelter, and health. And the heart chakra focuses on our mental needs, connection, love, acceptance, and joy. One of the overarching themes of this series is self-care, acceptance, and self-love. And that continues to exist in the heart chakra. If you cannot love and accept yourself, then it becomes really hard to extend that to others.
Choose Your Own Adventure, Volume 23.
The Crimson Dragons of Oakland.
You are in a dark room. You smell something sinister. Do you A, light your lantern?
B, keep quiet in the dark.
Choose. You chose A. You light your lantern. A dragon sees you and eats your face. You have died. No, wait, I kept my finger on the page. I choose B. You chose B.
You keep quiet in the dark. You feel your way to an ominous closed door.
Do you
A, hide under your cloak.
B, open the door.
choose? You chose B.
You open the door. A dragon leaps out and eats your face.
You have died.
Damn it! I want to start over.
A.
You hide under your cloak, and now you are getting really hungry.
Do you A, get out of bed and eat a goddamn egg?
B, stay in bed and play Neopets on your phone.
Your mother calls. Do you
A, answer the phone.
B, ignore her and watch 8 episodes of Full House.
Everywhere you look, you are still hungry. Do you A, try to put some clothes on to go to brunch?
B, text your friends and tell them you are too sick for the brunch.
The dragon hears you and eats your face. You have died.
Keep your thumb on the page.
You are tired. Do you clean your kitchen floor?
Look for a job on Craigslist.
Call your mother back, for God's sake.
Pursue your life's passion for 30 years with no guarantee anything will ever come of it.
Choose! A dragon jumps out of your fridge.
Your job interview is with a dragon.
Your mother just married her 3rd dragon.
Dragons are better writers than you.
What are you doing?
Sooner or later, the book will get too heavy.
You will run out of fingers for all the pages you wish you could choose again.
Every morning starts with a dark room and an ominous door.
And there is no such thing as not choosing. Doing nothing is choosing to do nothing. You don't ever get to start over.
This story only has one ending. It is the one where your body is no longer there, and all that is left of you is what you did while the book was still open.
There is no creature more terrifying than the one in the room while you are alone.
But not fighting it is not an option. The dragon is still coming.
You can hide under your bed,
And there will be a dragon under your bed.
You can run for the hills, and the dragon will be in the hills.
You are the dragon, something huge and powerful and impossible to tame. Quit eating your own face.
you can set the world on fire.
All you have to do is breathe.
So what is the science behind the heart chakra? The heart chakra is also referred to as anahata, which is Sanskrit for unhurt or unbeaten. Being located in the heart, it makes sense that this is the center for love, compassion, empathy, and forgiveness. It is the bridge that connects the upper and lower chakras. When there is a blockage, it can come across as a circulatory system disorder, issues with your heart, lungs, chest, or blood pressure. Mentally, it can also show up as codependency, manipulative behaviors, and trust issues. When the heart chakra is properly aligned, you hold a great capacity for love and responsibility. You are able to show compassion to yourself and to others. Additionally, the heart chakra connects with feelings of grief, which is somewhat a theme of each of the journeys that I took to find love today. With spiritual love, there was a grief that I experienced when I lost what I had found so important to me for so many years of my life. I felt grief after my sexual assault and the years that it took me to realize what a profound effect it had on me. I felt grief when I lost my mother, and I even feel grief when I think about the broken relationship that I have with some of my family members who have a difficult time accepting the new path that I find myself on. Sometimes my heart feels so heavy, it feels like it's weighing me down. But without sadness and grief, I believe that we would not be able to truly appreciate the joy and love that we experience in life. Something as simple as my nephew Elliot holding my hand because I told him I was afraid to get a shot. Realizing that I'm not the only black sheep at my Thanksgiving dinner and being able to compare birth charts when I thought I would be. Spending the day avoiding politics and religion at all costs. And then later when this same person asked me what my mother was like, and I realized that that was a question that felt so foreign because everyone was afraid to ask it these days. And that moment of being able to talk about her memory was so important to me. Having friends that I know are there for me time and time again, no matter what, when sometimes I don't even feel like I deserve it. My therapist telling me that she is proud of me. You never know what small act of kindness you choose that may bring joy into someone else's life. There's a balance in this life, and we have to open ourselves up to experience joy. And because of that, that means that sometimes we have to also experience hurt. It is what we do with that hurt that defines our character and shapes us as a person. As I mentioned at the beginning of the sermon, how do you walk through life? Are you ready to receive the love and the joy that this life has to offer? Before we wrap up today, I would like to lead you through a loving kindness meditation. We will start by sending love to yourself and then sending love out to others around you. So if you would like to, get comfortable in your chair. If you are someone who meditates standing up, you can stand up. If you want to lay on the floor, go for it. we're chill here. And if it's comfortable with you, let your eyes close and place one hand on your heart and one hand right below your belly. Focusing on your inhales and exhales. Taking a moment to digest everything from today, process what thoughts may have come up while you were listening. Letting the shoulders drop back, letting the body feel completely relaxed. We're going to go through a few cycles of this meditation, starting with ourselves. And as you take a nice inhale and exhale, say this to yourself. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. And may I find the healing that I need. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May I find the healing that I need. And next, I would like you to bring someone to the forefront of your mind that is someone that you love, someone that you care for very deeply. And as you send your love out to them, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful, may you find the healing that you need. Then next, someone who you might consider an acquaintance, maybe a coworker, maybe someone in the congregation that you don't talk to that often, but is a familiar face every time you're here, sending them love and comfort. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful, may you find the healing that you need. And as we extend our love out further, think of someone that you care for deeply that maybe you've lost touch with, you don't get to see as often or talk to as often for whatever reason. Sending them the same mantra, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful, may you find the healing that you need. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful, may you find the healing that you need. And next, think of someone in your life who deserves forgiveness. And this should be someone that you are genuinely ready to send that love and forgiveness to. Sending them comforting and healing thoughts. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful, and may you find the healing that you need. And then extending the love all around this room, out into the walls of Lakeland, maybe out as far as the world, as far as you can feel your love reach today. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful, may you find the healing that you need. May you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be healthy, may you find the healing that you need. Taking some time to focus on your breath, bringing yourself back inward, bringing the love back into yourself with the thoughtfulness of extending it out wherever you go for this week. Back to this physical space. Let us continue to offer loving kindness to each other with the goal of opening up to joy and transforming the world. Thank you, Jenni, for everything that you offered us today. When we share with this congregation, we are able to continue the ways we love one another. Our ushers will now pass the plates so that we may share our treasures.
Inside of me and see that I am not afraid to walk inside the void like a kid inside a cave, discovering the patterns of my soul and where it's placed. I've been mapping many caverns, but it still feels like a maze. I know I'm made of clay that's worn, blinded by imperfect form, but I will trust the artist molding me. I am creation, both haunted and holy, made in glory. Even the depths of the night cannot blind me when you guide me, creature only. Look inside my heart and find a perilous ravine, carved within the beauty, the darkness in between. Standing in
never really did like to wait until Christmas Day to open all the presents. I know that the Advent season is supposed to be about waiting, but when it comes to more love and more joy, I say, why wait? The world needs it now. And besides, love and joy are not finite. Opening up the box of joy does not mean that it's over. Indeed, from the joy that we open up to, we can share and generate more ways of sharing what we all need. So we're going to open this box today. Is that okay with all of you?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Aha. Ah, I see it. Memories of love and being together. These are the ornaments that we made last year at our Milk and Cookie Communion. Together, all of us grown-ups and children alike, these are the planets that we created. Because even through this pandemic, we found a way to be together. We cultivate real relationships here. So, I'm going to invite you up to hang them on our tree because it's a little bare over there. And remember that through all of this, we've been there for each other, caring, loving, spreading joy. So, Adam will play, Adam and Joshua, and we will decorate the tree.
One more poem for you guys. It's called Hiroshima by Sarah Kay. When they bombed Hiroshima, the explosion formed a mini supernova, so every living animal, human or plant, that received direct contact with the rays from the sun was instantly turned to ash, and what was left of the city soon followed. The long-lasting damage of nuclear radiation caused an entire city and its population to turn into powder. When I was born, my mom says I looked around the whole hospital room with a stare that said, "This, I've done this before." She says I have old eyes. When my grandpa Genji died, I was only 5 years old, but I took my mom by the hand and told her, "Don't worry, he'll come back as a baby." And yet, for someone who's apparently done this already, I still haven't figured anything out yet. My knees still buckle every time I get on stage. My self-confidence can be measured out in teaspoons mixed into my poetry, and it still always tastes funny in my mouth. But in Hiroshima, some people were wiped clean away, leaving only a wristwatch or a diary page. So no matter that I have inhibitions to fill all my pockets, I keep trying, hoping that one day I'll write a poem I can be proud to let sit in a museum exhibit as the only proof I existed. My parents named me Sarah, which is a biblical name. In the original story, God told Sarah she could do something impossible, and she laughed, because the first Sarah, she didn't know what to do with impossible. And well, neither do I. But I see the impossible every day. Impossible is trying to connect in this world, trying to hold on to others while things are blowing up around you, knowing that while you're speaking, they aren't just waiting for their turn to talk, they hear you. They feel exactly what you feel at the same time that you feel it. It's what I strive for every time I open my mouth, that impossible connection. There's this piece of the wall in Hiroshima that was completely burnt black by the radiation, but on the front step, a person who was sitting there blocked the rays from hitting the stone. The only thing left now is a permanent shadow of positive light. After the A-bomb, specialists said it would take 75 years for the radiation-damaged soil of Hiroshima City to ever grow anything again, but that spring there were new buds popping up from the earth. When I meet you, in that moment, I am no longer a part of your future. I quickly start becoming a part of your past. But in that instant, I get to share your present, and you get to share mine. And that is the greatest present of all. So if you tell me that I can do the impossible, I'll probably laugh at you. I don't know if I can change the world yet, because I don't know much about it. And I don't know much about reincarnation either. But if you make me laugh hard enough, sometimes I'll forget what century I'm in. This isn't my first time here. This isn't my last time here. These aren't the last words that I'll share. But just in case, I'm trying my hardest to get it right this time around. Please join us as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.
Take your open hearts out into the world and do the impossible. Change it with the joy that you found. And remember that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are a blessing.
There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. There's nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Nothing you can know that can't be known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. Nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy.